Almost everybody that I know is in need of a breakthrough in some area of their life. They might not voice it. A lot of people, when they're going through troubles, they don't talk about it. I'm somebody who I'm a bit more vocal. I'm a bit more transparent. My husband's not, and that's okay. But nevertheless, we're all looking for a breakthrough in some area of our life, whether it be financial or spiritual, or we're stuck to old patterns and habits. We can't break out of, maybe, our living situation of what's expected of us. The people around us, we're afraid to move from them. We're afraid to change. We're afraid to do anything different. We need breakthrough in our health. We need change, and I think that's why I'm so moved to do these types of talks and messages, is because we don't really need another feel-good message. So many people, they feel like they're going to hurt your feelings, so they don't want to speak up. They don't want to say the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But we need breakthrough. We don't need another feel-good message. We don't need to sit in another sermon and leave going, oh yeah, that felt good. I feel really great, Oh yeah, that was nice. I like what they said. I took notes, and then go back to the same old thing for the next 6 days of the week until church again, or whatever it is. We need to grasp something and then put it in action and get moving in that area. And it's the action behind it. So once you grasp something, sometimes you have to hear it for like 2, 3, 4, 5 times, get it really down deep, like, oh, it clicks, like, all of a sudden it clicks, it makes sense, like, oh, okay, so now you're experiencing that liberation in that area, you're experiencing that breakthrough in that area. And then you have to do the work. Then there's the action. And it's usually, that's where the change happens. It's in the action. It's not in the waiting. It's not in the sitting back to wait to see what happens. We have to create the movement. We have to do something then to walk it out. Walking it out gives you an opportunity for controlled movements, like well thought out movements. But it's work. It's an action. So once you get the revelation, the light bulb, the revelation of whatever it is that you're needing breakthrough in, and what moves you need to make and what's required of you, because there's always something required of us. There's a sacrifice, there's an obedience, there's a dying to self. Something is required of us to experience that breakthrough. We can't be the victim for our whole life. We can't just wait for everyone else to make the change for us, or wait for that person to change, or wait for somebody to give us the okay to do it, or wait for their approval to do it. We have to make the move. We have to cause the action, the movement, So it's the desire for the breakthrough, or the need for the breakthrough. It takes you doing something in it. So whatever it is that you're facing, or that you're experiencing, or that you're having troubles in, look at the areas that you can control and that you can make a difference in. What can you do better in? Even if they're small steps, even if they're little things, what can you do better in? And sometimes you have to play the game with yourself, like, okay, well, I'm going to have to trick myself into it. Not trick myself, but what I did is it was a split between my highest self and my lowest self. And I knew my lowest self was going to do these habits. These are the habits of the past. These are the things that I did. I already knew the results of that behavior and that lifestyle and those habits. Well, then my new self was this. So I wrote down who my new self was, what I did, how I lived. Even if I really didn't do that yet, this is my new self. And then I implemented those. And so each one of those, basically, when it came to the decision-making part, oh, I got chocolate on my face from a cookie. When it came to the decision-making part of whatever it is that I was facing, it was between my new self and my old self. And so I had to make a decision. Am I going to go this way, or am I going to go this way? What I did was, in some decisions, in some areas, is I just didn't give myself a way out. There was no lower version. There was no other option except this option. It was like, your back's up against the wall and you have to go forward. Like, there's no other option. Because if I was to give myself that cushion or that option, I would have fallen back into that. I would have been like, oh, okay, because your old self, your old habits are so strong. They are so strong that you have to play the game to win over those old habits, because the old habits are almost going to win every single time because they're ingrained in you. These are things you've carried for years, decades probably. So what I did was I was like, I cannot give myself a way out. So I am forced to move forward. I'm forced to make this choice. Like, I'm forced to do this. And you know what? That's where the breakthrough is. That's where the freedom is. It was like my future self was giving my present self what it wanted. It's really weird, but it works. It really works. So sometimes you just have to close that door. It's called burn the ship. You don't give yourself a way out. There's no going back because it's already gone. There's no way to get there. So when you cut that, you're forced to move forward, and then your freedom lies on the other side of that. So I challenge you, whatever it is that you're going through, to do that in whatever area you need breakthrough in. Just cut that cord, let the ship of the past go, so there is no going back, and then confidently move forward into that direction. Your breakthrough is there. The freedom is there. It's going to take time. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to walk it out. It's part of the deal. Walking it out is part of the deal. And sometimes you're walking alone. No one's rooting for you. It's just you and God. And you have to be okay with walking alone sometimes, because the people that you think are going to be there rooting for you, oh yeah, look at so-and-so's making changes. No, those are usually the people who are not rooting for you. That are talking behind your back or gossiping about you or secretly jealous of you. And the thing is, everybody's going to have something to say. They're all going to have something to say. So you have to be okay with walking alone sometimes and knowing that God is walking with you. Like, I would rather that than spend my life pleasing a bunch of people knowing I'm going against what God's telling me to do. At the end of your life, when you meet God, you want him to say, thou good and faithful servant. You want to complete what he's called you to do. You don't want to be like, oh, well, I had so many friends and I pleased everybody. Everybody loved me. I was friends with the world, and I did what this person asked me to do, and I did what you did what everyone else asked you to do except for what God asked you to do. Like, that would be a shame. That would be terrible. So you have to be, you're not going to please everybody. You're going to offend people. They're not going to like you. They're not going to I've had when I stood up last year and said, hey, I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't agree with it. I don't do this. Christian friends came against me for it. Oh, well, that's not right. Churches do this, trunk or treat. It's okay. It's harmless. You take your kid, and everybody trying to justify it. And it was the religious ones who came out after me, and I got mocked. Like, people were going on threads to mock me, or whatever. So that's what I'm saying, is when you stand up for what God tells you to stand up for, and you stand up for what's right, you're going to have people mocking you. You're going to have people coming against you. You're going to have, it's part of the deal. You just got to grow thick skin, whatever, and a lot of these were close people that I had talked to daily, So it's better to walk alone. It's better to walk with God. He will bring you the right people. And sometimes he doesn't bring you anybody. And that's okay. I'm very choosy on who I bring into my close circle anyways. So I prefer it that way, because I'm obligated to my spouse and my kids and God and myself, and I don't have to appease anybody else. So the more people that you bring in, the more people that you're accountable for, you're obligated for. And it makes it that much more difficult to run your race. You also have to be willing to be different. You have to be willing to look different, even silly at times, even where people are like, why are you doing that? That's ridiculous. And, you're going to stand out. To get different results and to stand out, you got to do different things. You can't blend in with everybody else. You definitely can't blend in with the world, because what the world expects you to do, you're following the crowd. You're basically in this herd of cattle. And when you do the opposite, it's always, I know this sounds so cliche because people talk about it all the time, but it's very true. It's so true. And I'm not talking about in a rebellious way, like, oh, everybody has nice combed hair, so I'm going to cut mine and get a mohawk so I can stand. That's a rebellious, prideful thing, unless that's your style, but you get what I'm saying. That's stemmed in a rebellion of, oh, well, I'm going to do this, so I stand out. The problem with that is then you get a bunch of rebellious people doing that, and then they all look the same, and then they hang out with each other and they think they're different, but they're all the same. It's like, I'm so different and unique. Oh yeah, girl, so are you. Oh, well, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. Oh, well, you're a he, she, or I'm a they. Oh, we're all a they. So then they're all together, and it's just this big confusing group of people. That's not what I'm talking about. You have to be rooted and know who you are, but you got to be willing to move in the season and the rhythm that God has for you, which might look different than the rest of the world. It probably will. Almost everybody that God used in the Bible did things way out of season. It looked silly, marching around the wall 7 times and then blowing a trumpet. I mean, that had to look ridiculous. But look, your breakthrough is when you're following what God has for you and you're not following the world. Your breakthrough lies in that. But see, they've walked it out. They got the word, they got the revelation, and then they did what God told them to do, regardless if it looked silly. So you got to walk these things out. You have to do what's required of you. And a lot of times, God's trying to build our character. He's trying to build our faith. He's trying to give us perseverance so we can weather some storms in life. And so when you're going through these trials and tribulations, it's to build your character. It's to build your faith. It's to build some oomph that you won't back down. It's, there's so many different reasons why God does that. But I'm a firm believer that those are 2 of the biggest ones, character and faith. He's also pruning you so you bear good fruit. And so when you're squeezed or you're going through a season that's so difficult, it's so you can get rid of those dead branches, get rid of all of those things, all of those ugly things. You might be somebody who has you hold on to a grudge. You're mad about what your wife or your husband did a week ago. And so you're secretly, giving them the cold shoulder because of it. Oh, I'm mad at what they did. And it builds up. Like, God's trying to remove that from you, release it from you, release it from your household, and cut those dead branches off. Cut anything that's not bearing fruit, he says, he cuts off. He's gonna get rid of. So new fruit can grow. So this is how you're leveling up. This is when God says he brings you from glory to glory. You're leveling up. You're going from a level to a level. So don't fight it. You have to embrace that process. You have to really embrace the change and the growth. And again, if it's just you and you're walking alone, walk it. Keep walking until you start experiencing those breakthroughs in each season. Each season's going to have its own breakthrough. Each season's going to have something new for you to learn, new for you to grow into. And so when you walk it out and you get that little breakthrough, it's going to give you the motivation to keep going. It's going to give you the motivation to keep leveling up in whatever area it is. God wants you to show up as your highest self, not this low, beat down, depressed, carrying your burdens of the past with you. Let that big garbage bag go, that big trash bag full of stuff you can't do anything about anyways. Let it go and forgive the people who may have filled that trash bag. It may not even be your garbage. Even so, even more reason to let it go. Give your burdens to the Lord and move forward confidently in the direction that he has for you. And keep showing up. Keep shining your light and find things that give you joy. Like for me, I'm listening to Christmas music. I love it. It's July. I'm happy. People are laughing at me. Whatever. I love it. It makes me happy. I'm humming it. I'm singing it. I hum and sing all the time. It's really good for your health to hum and sing. It's good for your skin. It's anti-aging. These are all simple remedies. You can do the things that puts your body at ease. It makes you feel good. And walking. I love walking, especially with this beautiful view. But even if I didn't have it, I'd still walk. Even if it was winter, I'd walk, because I love walking. So you do the things that you love, and that gives you strength to keep moving. So have a great night.